This playthrough is rated T for teen. Chapter 2, December 19th, 1980. The alarm in my cramped apartment starts to beep. Oh, that's not the only thing that's going to start to beep. Greetings and salutations, viewers. Vauldemare back here with another episode of The Last Window. And The Secret of Cape West. In the last episode, we started a journey with Kyle Hyde a year after the Hotel Dusk situation. He's been fired from his job, and now his apartment's about to get cleaned out by the end of the month. And apparently he needs to find this other item despite him being fired from his job. Let's see what happens today in Chapter 2. Ah, come on. Can't you let me get just a little bit more shut-eye? Every morning I have to fight the temptation to get a gun and shoot the damn thing. Guess the only way to stop that damn beeping is to get up and hit it myself. Okay, I get it. I lift my weary head from the pillow and open my tired eyes. On the table beside my bed is that damn alarm clock. Yeah, you have to wait for it to... Yeah, the second puzzle is you have to wait for yourself to focus to hit the button, otherwise you can't hit it. 8 o'clock already? If I still had my job, this would be my cue to get up. Guess I don't need to worry about that kind of thing anymore, though. I throw my head back down on the pillow and fall asleep again. Yeah, so much for that. Great. Now the phone's ringing. I reach out from my bed and grab the receiver. Hello, Avon calling. Yeah. From your voice, it sounds like you're still in bed. Who's this? It's me, Kyle. Oh, Kyle, you don't remember your mother's voice after only half a year? Mom? So it's my mom, Jeannie. She had a tough time after my old man passed away and had to raise me on her own. Now she lives by herself in New Jersey, working as a nurse. If you don't drag yourself out of bed soon, you'll be late for work, you know. I'm taking today off. I'm so sorry. I should have saved this call for another time and let you rest. Don't sweat it. I was planning to get up around now anyway. Why are you calling me this early? Is something up? Well, actually there is. It's been on my mind since last night. I got a call from someone calling himself Rex Foster. Rex Foster? He said he wanted to ask me a couple of questions. He was keen to know if I was the mother of Kyle Hyde, ex-New York detective. When I told him I was, he continued with something that caught me off guard. He asked me whether you were still searching for Ryan Bradley or not. What did you tell him? I said I don't know. That's all he wanted to know. In fact, once I answered his questions, he hung up. I need to know, though, are you still looking for Bradley, Kyle? That's ancient history, Mom. I'm done looking for Bradley. Brian Bradley, my partner from back when I was a cop in New York. 4 years ago, he was working undercover, and it turned out he was on the take. He was a good friend. After I put a bullet in him, I quit the force. That's probably for the best. Yeah, maybe. Who's this Rex Foster, anyway? Can't say the name rings a bell. And, Mom, if you get any more calls from strangers asking you questions, I know what you're gonna say, but I thought he might be a friend of yours. He's not. I told you, I don't know the guy. I don't know anyone who'd call my mom to snoop around for info. Okay, I understand. Glad to hear it. Anyway, I gotta go, Mom. Kyle, wait. What now? How are things with Ed? Yeah, about that. Ed, boss of Red Crown. He and my old man were buddies in a sense. They both drank at the same bar and they got to talking a lot. It's been 25 years since the incident in the downtown parking lot when an officer on patrol came across Dad's body. It was Ed. a member of the Los Angeles police force at the time that found him. When you said to me you were going to work for Ed, Kyle, I couldn't work it out. You're just not the salesman type. I worry about you even now. I'm your mother. It's in the job description. Look, Mom. I'm 34 years old. I think it's about time you eased up on the worrying a bit. You're probably right. It's just you're the same age your father was when he died, and... No, you're right. I worry too much. I'll let you go now, Kyle. Have a nice day off and look after yourself. At least she cares about us. I was wide awake after the chat I had with my mom. Gave up trying to get back to sleep and dragged myself out of bed. Guess I was still in work mode. No late sleeping for me. I make my way to the sink and turn on the tap. I splash cold water over my face, giving my senses a sharp wake-up call. Feeling a lot more alert, I pull out some clothes and get dressed. I still feel that strange lack of focus and can't quite get my head together. There isn't anything I feel like doing right now. Before I know it, I find myself slumped on the sofa. I slowly begin to gain a little clarity as I sit there, but there's something about hearing my mom's voice after all this time. That and the fact that I'm blankly staring at the worn-out wallpaper in my room sends me plunging back through my thoughts to a point where somewhere in the past. I start reminiscing about Los Angeles, the place I was born and raised. Then about my dad, Chris Hyde. He was a man with little to say, so into his work that he was rarely home. My mom was working as a nurse back then too. I'd come home from school each day only to be greeted by an empty apartment. I was 9 years old when my dad died. 3 days after he left for a job, he wound up dead in a parking lot somewhere downtown. I recall Mom crying for a solid week after it happened. After she managed to get her feelings together, she packed our stuff and then took us off to start a new life in Manhattan. Why did my dad have to die like that? Who wanted him dead, and why did he have to leave town? I had all these questions going around my head, but Mom wasn't talking. 7 years into our new life in Manhattan, when I was 16 years old, Mom decides to start talking to me about Dad. She chose this time to reveal something I didn't know about my dad. She told me that he used to be a safecracker. He'd reached the point where he wanted to wash his hands of it, that after he left home to do his last job, he never returned. His death was unexplained, and the case remains unsolved to this day. 6 short years from then, I became a detective. I still remember the words my mom said to me on that day about my old man. She said that now I'm a detective, I can uncover the truth behind his death. I took her words lightly. After all, I knew about being in this line of work. I knew that getting to the bottom of the mysterious surroundings of a man's death could lead to truths that relatives of the deceased wouldn't want to hear. Even with the tools I had at my disposal, I wasn't willing to dig. I quit the job and still don't know the truth. I return from my trance-like state, draw a long breath, and stand up from the sofa. Just me and my thoughts. Well, let's just kind of walk around and see what's going on. Ah, nuts. Huh? It's the phone again. Alright. Hello? Avon calling. Hey there. With the receiver pressed against my ear, I hear a familiar voice. Hi, Rachel. How are you doing, handsome? I've been better. Sure you have. Things could be a lot worse, though. For someone who lost their job yesterday, you sound okay, at least. Well, not exactly full of sunshine and happiness, you know. Same old Kyle. Always got something on your mind. Head around. He just stepped out not 5 minutes ago. Said anything about me? Yeah, you've come up in conversation. He said that if you called, not to bother letting him know. Damn, sounds like he's really blowing a gasket this time. And then some. Can you blame him, though? Some people might say he made the right choice. 3 days after leaving on a job and not a single phone call to check in. You didn't even show up at the place you were supposed to be heading to.
Maybe I did kind of have it coming.
Still, even given the circumstances, why did you choose not to fire you? I mean, it's not like this is the first time you slacked off on a job. Hey, did something happen between you two?
Could have been because I told him I don't want to do this kind of work anymore.
Yeah, that'd do it.
Lined myself up for a bullet there, I suppose. Do you know when he'll be back? There's something he and I need to discuss.
He'll be back a bit after lunchtime. Said he's going to listen to the election candidate speeches.
Really? Doesn't sound like that, I know. He was always raging on about how much he hates politics. You and me both, brother.
You mentioned that one of the people running for mayor is an ex-boss of his, a guy called Hugh Speck. The whole thing's going to be televised too. It'll be on at 9.
Right. Well, as soon as he gets back, get me on the phone.
Oh, one other thing. You had a phone call earlier. Someone going by the name of Rex Foster. Ringing any bells?
What?
I just said that you were on holiday and he hung up. He a friend of yours?
Definitely not. But the same guy called my mom last night, too.
Your mom? What do you want?
That's what I want to find out. Seems you already knew I used to be a detective, though. Rachel, can you do me a favor? If he calls again, let me know.
Gotcha. And I'll be in touch when Ed gets back. Keep your pager on, okay?
Roger that. For those too young to know, a pager is every time if you call a pager number, it's an electronic note to a device that people would put on their belt to basically say, "Hey, you need to call this number." So it was before the days of cell phones. Ooh, I don't envy Rachel. She's Ed's PA and also struggles to keep me and Ed civil. Come to think of it, she's the only woman I'm happy to be totally open with. I reach into my pocket and switch on my pager. Rex Foster. Why is this guy keeping tabs on me? 9 a.m. Well, didn't someone say someone's going to be playing on the news here pretty soon? 9 o'clock already. That's when Rachel said they'd start showing the speeches on the news. I guess if Ed's made the effort to drag himself along to listen, I might as well switch on the TV and give it a try. Got nothing better to do. Alright, let's go to the TV and turn it on and see what's cracking, Jack. See about the other channels. Okay, no. That's the same as before. Hugh Speck, the most prominent candidate in this election, will be giving his campaign speech momentarily. And 5 News is here in live coverage of that speech. Stay tuned. Answering the cheers from the crowd, Hugh Speck takes the podium. Speck is a retired LAPD officer and is even now working to stamp out petty and organized crime in the city. Today at 4 p.m., 5 will be... I guess it's the same voice. Today at 4 p.m., 5 will be airing an exclusive look at the man himself. Don't forget to tune in. This is Robert Harrison for 5 News signing off. Hugh Speck, an ex-cop and also Ed's old boss, trying to become mayor now. Ambitious guy. Looks like he's got a special TV slot at 4 o'clock. Think I'll check it out. Yeah, alright then. We'll have to come back at another time and do that, so. Okay, wait. Let's check around the hotel. Might as well do something. What the? Someone buzzes my room. Who's there? Don't want to answer, huh? Oh, right, I could just hit the door. If you're close enough, you can just hit certain items to get it done. Oh, it's you. Cool, you're still here. Great, what do you want? You know what time it is, right? Trust me, man, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't important. It's always important with you. Go on, spill it. I need your help, like really need your help. Alright, you need to calm down there, buddy, so. Hey, calm down, will you? Spit it out, what's wrong? Thanks, just hear me out, okay? Come with me, I need you to help me out of a fix with some quick thinking. Quick thinking?
Yeah, I'm being squeezed by that chick down the hall, but she's got it all wrong.
You're being... What the hell are you blabbing on about, Tony? You better start making sense here soon, or pretty soon, or you're out of here.
All right, let me catch my breath. It's really bad. I mean, it's worse than really bad.
What could be that bad?
She's shouting out some crazy stuff, saying I'm a no-good thief.
She thinks you're a thief? Come on, Tony, what'd you do this time?
Yeah, that's right. Take one look at me and send me downtown. I'm innocent. Can't tell you how much I've tried telling her. She thinks I snatched her ring. Just keeps screaming it over and over.
Ring? Who thinks you stolen the ring?
Mary, that's who. She's made up her mind and won't listen to reason.
Mary?
You know, the chick living in room 206? She's the blonde one who moved in about half a year back.
The stuck-up one, right?
So we're clear. Anyway, Mary's lost her ring somewhere, and now she's accusing me. I'm drawing a total blank.
I mean, Tony seems like a slob and all this other stuff, but he doesn't seem like a thief. At least it doesn't seem like it. Wait, why does Mary think it was you who took her ring?
Search me.
She's got to have a reason, though. I mean, she's not imagining it, right?
I got no idea what she's thinking. I told you, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Did you try asking her why she thinks it was you?
Yeah, but she just came out of nowhere and barged into my room, demanding that I return her precious ring. She wouldn't let me speak.
So you didn't do anything that could have led her to suspect it was you?
I don't know. I mean, I can't remember.
I see.
I don't know what she's on. Chick must be crazy or something.
Women, am I right? No. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt, Tony. But I need you to promise me you really didn't take the ring.
Why the hell would I even touch her stupid ring? I may be many things, but I'm not the kind of guy who steals people's stuff.
Yeah, I guess you're not. Now I think about it, you're not the sort who'd grab a person's wallet.
Damn right. Glad you finally realized, man, I'm not a thief. That's why I need you to go in there and convince her of the same. She's bound to listen to you. I don't have a chance in hell of my own.
Yeah, well, let's hope you're right. There's Tony again. Is there anything to...
Come on, Hyde, go and tell her, man. Tell her I'm not a thief.
Alright. Hey, lady. This should be good. Is your name Karen, by the way? No. You got a moment?
Maybe, what do you want?
Looks like you and Tony are having some sort of disagreement.
You could say that.
Another NPC of the hotel, or sorry, the apartments. Her name's Marie Rivet. She moved in 2006, about half a year ago. I don't know the first thing about her. Can you tell me what happened?
My ring's been stolen, that's what... It was that guy from room 201, he did it.
Why are you so convinced it was Tony? Yeah, why are you so convinced it was him?
Simple, he was the only person around when it went missing. He stole it right out of my room.
How can you be sure?
He must have taken it this morning when I went to the vending machine in the lobby. I planned on going straight back to my room, so I left the door unlocked.
Is that all you've got to go on?
Not quite. I passed him on the stairs on my way down. He was heading up to the second floor. I think he seized the opportunity to snoop around in my room and snatched my ring while I was away.
So that's why you think it was him?
Exactly.
Seriously, that's the only reason you think it was him?
It's got to be, I'm sure of it. After all, he was the only person around when he went past my room and saw the door was unlocked.
He what?
Well, it's no secret that he's short on cash. I'm sure he's no stranger to taking other people's stuff either. No stranger? What the hell? So getting too close to the truth, am I? Don't play the innocent with me. I've seen you borrowing money from other people in the building. I don't have to listen to this crap.
Take it easy, Tony. Waving your fists around ain't gonna help your cause, or case.
Yeah, I know, man.
I love being in the middle of disputes like this.
Mr. Hyde, I don't know why he's decided to involve you in this, but all I want is for him to return my ring.
What kind of ring is it, I wonder? Maybe it's a marriage ring, a fun ring, a ring ding, you know. When exactly did your ring go missing?
I'd say about an hour ago. When I got back from my lobby, my door was open. This was unusual, but I headed inside and soon noticed my ring was gone. It wasn't in the place I remember leaving it.
Where did she leave it, I wonder? Maybe it's just a case of just accidental droppage or something that...
I knew what happened immediately. He stole it.
Alright, well, let's ask her those questions, shall we? So, what kind of ring was stolen?
A diamond one. It was a 3-carat diamond ring with rubies on it.
Sounds like it came with quite a price tag.
It's a very important ring to me. I got it as a present from a special someone special.
Okay. Where'd you leave it? Where'd you leave the ring? Where'd you leave the ring?
Where? Inside my room, of course. Though I don't see why I should share that sort of information with you. Do you see now, Mr. Hyde? Do you understand why I think you stole my ring?
It's not that I don't understand what you're saying, Mary. But Tony's telling me a different story. He swears he didn't take it. You tell her, Hyde. That's what I've been saying from the start. Why would I want with that stupid ring anyway? How can you be sure it wasn't taken by someone who snuck into the building? After all, anyone can just wander in here. There are some weird people about. I mean, it is Los Angeles, so... Like last night when I saw this suspicious lady in sunglasses going out the door. Who the hell was that? ... You saw her too, right, Hyde? Yeah, I saw her.
Well, I'm not convinced. It goes without saying that there are suspicious people around, but if you ask me, you're the most suspicious one of the lot.
Will you just drop it already?
Hey, get your hands off me!
Tony! Huh? Alright, Betty. Can you people please keep that noise down? What's all this shouting in aid of anyway? Betty! You gotta hear me out. It's Mary. She's saying all kinds of crap about me. Yeah, she thinks you stole her ring, right? And you keep your voice down unless you want the entire block to hear. I'm being set up. What would I want with her lousy ring? Alright.
Yes.
About the ring that you say was stolen from you. It's that diamond one you always wear, right?
Yes, that's right.
So, you seen this ring before, Betty? Yeah, I've seen it. Don't know if the diamond's real or not, though.
Of course it's real.
I hate to say it, but I think you're pointing the finger at the wrong person, Mary. So it's settled. You do believe me after all. Slow down there, I never said that. But I just think that your version of events is more believable than hers.
What did you say?
Mary, this isn't the first time that kind of thing has happened, isn't it? Is it?
I don't know what you mean.
Come on, think back. It was when you first moved into the building. You were ranting about some of your stuff going missing then too. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't you blame the whole thing on Billy from 205? In the end, though, it turned out that the movie company just messed up. Shows you a bit maybe scatterbrain when it comes to things. What I'm trying to say is, before you go blaming Tony, why don't you try searching her apartment again? And if you really want to continue this ruckus, do it somewhere else. I can't hear myself think with all the shouting outside my door. That would be kind of annoying. Good thing I don't live in an apartment complex. After having her say, Betty retreats into her room. Mary, I'm not saying I believe Betty, but anyone can make a mistake, you know?
And just what do you imply, Mr. Hyde?
Well, I mean, maybe we should check your room again, you know? Just why don't we call the cops? Let's just escalate this. You should check your room again. You could get lucky and find your ring there after all.
I've already checked everywhere. I told you it's not there.
I hear you, but what's the harm of having one last look?
Okay. Maybe we could take a look around my room one more time. But if I'm right and the ring doesn't show up, what are we going to do then?
I don't know. Maybe you could take a look around Tony's room? You don't have a problem with that, do you, Tony? I guess I don't.
Then it's settled. But I have one condition, Mr. Hyde. You have to check my room.
Me?
Yes. You and Mr. Wolf seem to be friends and you think he's innocent, so you need to be the one to check the room before you take me seriously. And then we'll see who's telling the truth.
If you insist.
I'll wait for you in my room.
Mary finishes speaking and returns to room 206. It's so we can save or walk around or whatever we need to do, so. Hey, Hyde. Get with it, man. Go check out Mary's room. Alright, I'm gonna do that. I was just seeing what else was being said, you know. Yeah, it looks like quite a few of the rooms are vacant. I guess everyone already left by the time this whole thing started. Alright, you can either knock or ring the bell. Either way. Doors open. So this is Mary's room. That's a pretty nice room. If she's the only one who lives in there, why does she need a vanity thing for her bed? Oh, maybe to block out the sun or something. Oh, actually, but she has... Never mind. Please come in, Mr. Hyde. Search as much as you like, but didn't you find anything? Don't be so sure. I can be pretty thorough. Before I get started, though, I'm curious about something. One more question. What are we, Columbo all of a sudden? No. One more thing. Can you tell me where you left the ring this morning? Certainly, I put it on the table just in front of my sofa. I remember clearly putting it there. It's not there now, though. Remember clearly, huh? Do you normally wear the ring, Mary? Yes. But did you take it off and place it on my bedside table before going to bed? Any other times you take it off? Well, yes. When I wash my face or I'm cleaning dishes in the kitchen, for example. Also, I usually take it off when I'm putting on my makeup. I see. Alright, time to see if we can find this thing. So let's take a look around. I mean, I know exactly where I need to look, but I'm going to look around just for exploration purposes, so. Nothing but shoes in here. There's a small lamp on top of the shoe cabinet. Never heard of a shoe cabinet before. Well, that's before my time, though. Most people usually have, like, those little stands or, like, little mini drawers or whatever, but an old painting of some pink flowers in a vase. It goes well with the decor. There's a framed photograph on top of the cabinet. It's a younger man marrying a guy who seemed to have an oddly calm aura about him. Is this the guy who gave her that ring? I'm surprised she's letting us just check all this stuff out. There's a white telephone on top of the cabinet. It looks way more modern than mine. She probably bought it herself. A wooden cabinet with 3 drawers. It's not the first thing I've seen. It won't be the last. There are a few safety pins in the drawer. Ow, evidently not that safe. There's a tape measure in the drawer, handy for measuring, no doubt. It's a first aid kit. Hopefully I won't end up needing this. Nylon-covered notebook and a black ballpoint pen. We'll have to come back to this drawer, by the way, later, so remember that for a moment. Okay. There's a photo frame next to the books on the bottom shelf. The photograph is a portrait of a handsome young man. Who could it be? Oops. There's a bookcase in the corner. It bears the telltale signs of a long life of heavy abuse. The books on the bottom shelf are all written by the same author. Must be good. Will it be the same author from the last game? The guy who's plagiarizing stuff? A variety of leather-bound books make up the contents of the top shelf. There's a sketchbook in the room on the table. Must be something to remember this room by after she moves. I guess she has a soft spot for this room. The sofa is soft to the touch, but if you sit on it, you just sink down into the wood. Ouch. There are 3 cushions on the sofa. They feel like they're made of linen. They have stripes on them like the wallpaper. Can't say I'm a stripes sort of guy. Oops, I didn't mean to. I accidentally clicked on that. There's a cup on the table. There's coffee in the cup, but it's getting pretty cold. Must have been a while since she poured it. There's a box of cookies on the table. They look pretty tempting, too. To just ask her to take one. The sunrise light is streaming onto the coffee table. Through the window, I can see the building on the other side of the road. Oh, whoops, sorry. Meant to click this. Mary must have left this dress and sewing box here. There's some thin pink thread in the sewing box. Not really my color. Yeah, I'm not a pink guy myself. I'm not a fan of like reds or bright reds and stuff like that. I like cooler colors, like cool as in cold, like, you know, blues and stuff like that. The sewing box is made out of wood. There's an elaborate floral pattern engraved on it. It's a white one-piece dress. It looks like it's only half finished. So she's a sewer, huh?
Actually, learning to sew isn't a bad idea, but though some clothes are so cheap, it's almost unnecessary to learn to sew, really. Unless you want to save even more money. Miss Hyde, I'd be grateful if you could get your check over and done with. Take it easy there. These things take time. Or if you're a completionist. The refrigerator is making an awful racket. The cupboard doors are kind of busted up. The sink is spotless. Free of any and all debris, including rings. Yeah, I could have gotten to the garbage disposal. The cupboard doors don't quite fit properly. That's still the same true today if you use cheap balsa wood and crap like that, which they did use that back in the day, in the 70s even. I should know. There's a built-in wash basin next to the refrigerator. There's a cup on the shelf with a toothbrush resting in it. Hey, it's my face. Good to know I'm not a vampire. Oh boy, he's a vampire. Everything in the drawer is neatly organized, not a spoon out of place. One of the handles looks like it's about to fall off. The same extractor as in my room, just as clean though, for different reasons, I'm sure. Nothing stands out about the stove except how clean it is. Free of all kind of debris, including what I'm looking for. I'm not really sure I need to be inspecting Mary's cooking equipment so closely. He's just obsessive. There's a wooden cupboard in the corner with a lock on it, same as in my room. All the crockery is in neat little piles. The doors ain't in great condition, but they're clean as can be. She actually cleans up her room. I try to do that once a week if I can help it, but you'd be surprised how often I forget. It's a chair. Feels pretty soft. The cover is looking a bit worn though. I bet she only sits on this one. Yeah, most people have a habit of sitting in the same chair, even if they've got multiple ones. There's a white linen tablecloth on the dining table. It kind of looks like a cake. There's a matching white coffee pot and coffee cup on the table. Pot is stone cold. Must have been a while since she heated up the water. Not a coffee man myself. The chair looks brand new. The newspaper on the table has yesterday's date on it. It reads, December 18th, serial robberies at jewelers. Due to the recent spate of robberies targeting expensive jewelry, the Los Angeles Police Department has requested that all parties who may be tighten their security. The LAPD is aiming to apprehend these criminals as soon as possible, but according to a source in the department, they currently have no leads to work from. Looks like a piece on jewel thieves. I wonder if they'll have anything to reference to in the story. Yeah, probably not. That'd be too convenient. See how our bathroom's doing. Mr. Hyde, I'd rather you didn't go snooping around in my bathroom. I'd never even take my ring in there. Just checking out all the possibilities. Don't get the wrong idea. Yeah, I can't do that. Oh, wooden hanger. There's a hanger on the side of the closet. Nothing on it, though. I think I'll have a poke around in the closet. Several boxes of women's shoes are cluttering up the closet. These shoes look pricey. How many pairs of shoes does a dame need anyway? Yeah, you'd be surprised. A shoebox with a blue lid. Guys need like 2 shoes. House shoes and work shoes. Can't see a price tag. I bet these shoes are expensive. I mean, sorry, they're very expensive. There's a dark gray jacket scrunched up in the back of the closet. And I can't move anything, so I guess there's nothing in there. Oops, didn't mean to do that again. Sorry. Yeah, I think that's it for all you can check out on this section here. There's a way to go through this faster. I'm just doing the long way around on purpose. Mary keeps her mirror clean and shiny. Various makeup bottles are sat in front of the mirror. She sure has a lot of different kinds of makeup. It's a dresser with a huge mirror on it. Someone likes looking at herself. The stool opens up and has a space to store things. This chest of drawers looks like it's undergone some repair work. Yep, yeah, you see that off in the distance there? But anyway. This chest of drawers looks like it. Okay, sorry, I accidentally clicked that again. This photograph is of a young gentleman flashing a charming smile. On the chest of drawers is a photograph of a young woman. There's a painting of a lake on the wall. Looks like a watercolor. The TV is spotless, but it's not actually plugged in. Priorities, I guess. I don't even watch that much TV myself anymore. Can you actually check the bed yourself? The bed's not only made, it's practically hospital worthy. 2 pillows. They look strokeably soft. Huh. The bed's not only made, sorry. Room with a view. A cruddy alleyway view, but a view nonetheless. The curtains are a cheerful color. I'm cheered up already. Like nearly all the furniture in the building, the chest of drawers is showing its age. A lamp on a chest of drawers, nothing more. Everything in the drawer is folded and laid out neatly. The bulb on this lamp burns pretty good. Guess someone gets a lot of use out of it. Okay. I think that's it for everything I can actually check in the room. I was just doing a double check around. Okay. But anyway, yeah, the item is actually, it dropped from her cabinet in between the cracks. Seems to be something lodged between the dresser and the chest of drawers. Huh. What's that? Looks like something shiny has dropped down there between the furniture. What do we have here? Damn, looks like my manly arms are too big to fit into the gap. So we have to get it out. Hey, Mary. What is it? Mind if I shift this dresser a little? Good duck. Thanks for the support. That dress is fixed tight to the wall and there's no easy way of moving it. Good idea in my opinion. I wouldn't want it falling every time we have an earthquake. And we may have a problem. Great, now what? What is it, Mr. Hyde? Looks like something's fallen between the dresser and the chest of drawers. I'm gonna get a closer look. Between the dresser and the chest of drawers? Yeah, right between the two. Are you sure it's not just you're not just seeing things? I can't make much out it though. You never know, it could turn out to be a ring. Problem is I can't get my arm in to pull it out. Got anything lying around we could use a poke in there to get it out? Like what? It doesn't really matter what it is, it just has to be thin enough to fit into the gap. And nothing really springs to mind. If you find anything that looks like likely to fit, feel free to give it a try. Great, looks like I've got another search on my hands. Okay, so there's 2 ways to solve this. You can either do the convoluted way, which is you need to go grab these, go to the sewing box. You need to grab the safety pins, go to the sewing box to get the thread, and then you need to combine them together and you make the threaded safety pin. That allows you to get the, allows you do a different mini game to get it, but there's another way that's a little bit easier. You just have to get the tape measure from the drawers from before. So you could do either method. Doesn't really matter, but I'm gonna do the tape measure method. Looks like there's a tape measure inside. Could be useful, you never know. I take the tape measure. Actually, I wonder if it'll let me take the thread, the drawer and the thread too. It probably will. There's some safety pins inside the drawer. Now this is a definite plus. Now we're getting to get the picture. I can't get the things just out using it, but maybe if I tie it to something. I take a safety pin. I forgot if you could do both at the same time or not, so. Yeah, the obvious one is getting like a weird safety pin string kind of situation to like loop it out, but the tape measure will actually work too, so. Alright, let me get the thread. There's some thread lying in the sewing box. It's got my mind working. I bet I can make good use of this somehow. I take the thread. Are we gonna ask Mary if we could use it? No? Alright, anyway. Okay, safety pin, we need to combine that with the thread. Safety pin. Let me back up really quick. So we got the order sheet. An order sheet I got directly, no client info, just a request to find the Scarlet Star. Tape measure. Found this in Mary's room. It extends up to 1.5 meters, about 5 feet. Safety pin. Found this in Mary's room. And thread. A thread of cotton for sewing. Can't do much with just a thread though. Okay, combine the thread and the safety pin. I attach the thread to the safety pin. Now I have a threaded safety pin. A safety pin with some thread tied to it. A creation to be proud of. The reason most people use the tape measure is because doing that one's a little bit easier than the safety pin mini game, or puzzle, I guess in this case. All right, let's take the item. Tape measure. We'll use that. There's something shiny between the dresser and the chest of drawers. If I use this tape measure, I might be able to pull the thing out. Okay, so we need to pull it out just a little bit. It's like
I think it's like you're supposed to pull it out like 1.5 inches if I remember correctly, so might have to pull it out a little bit more. Yeah, we need to pull it out a little bit more. Let me back up really quick. That might be enough. There we go. The other way is a little bit more annoying to do. You have to basically loop the ring with the safety pin, and it's a little bit more obnoxious to do, so it's easier to do the tape measure. Because, yeah, all you do is go, fit, fit, and that's it. Perfect. Got it. I take the ring. Now perhaps I can put an end to this whole mess. Let's take a look at the ring before we give it back. Got it from between the furniture. Marion must have dropped it in there. Okay, let's hand that back to Mary. Wouldn't we already start the conversation after getting her ring back? Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. Mary, what is it? So, does this look anything like the ring you claim was stolen? You found it? Yeah, it didn't even break a sweat. I'm no expert in jewelry, but this ring looks a pretty decent ring even to me. Definitely impressed by the big stone on it.
Mr. Hyde, now you found my ring. Please hand it to me now.
What's gotten into her all of a sudden?
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to yell. I'm just keen to get my property back.
Yeah, I guess you are.
That's it, that's my ring.
So that puts an end to it. Looks like you wanted to hang the wrong man after all when you blamed Tony.
Yes, I'm not exactly proud of myself either. I mean, I did kind of jump to the wrong conclusions.
It happens.
I lost it when I noticed my precious ring had gone.
Must be really special if you're that protective of it.
It's one of the most treasured things I have. It was a present from my older brother before he passed away.
So it's basically a present, friendship. Well, not friendship, you know, like one of those types of rings. So Mary reaches for the photo on the bookshelf.
I suppose I'd better go and patch things up with Mr. Wolf. I'm not sure if I can face him right away, though. I'm still pretty embarrassed.
At least she's willing to apologize. Most people would just be like, oh, well, if he had, you know, some people would be turn into a Karen and just like still blame him anyway, even though, you know, or not take responsibility for their actions, you know. He's bent to have the handle and start shouting at me again. You can't say you don't deserve it.
What should I do?
I'll tell you what, I'll have a word with him, see if I can't smooth things over a bit.
Thank you, Mr. Hyde.
Here, you might as well take your stuff back too. I won't be needing it now that you've got your ring back. Yeah, you give her the ring and the safety pin and the tape measure. I'll save myself out.
Thanks again.
I leave Mary's room. Alright, let's talk to Tony. Were you just waiting there the whole time, you weirdo? Tony!
What is it, man?
I found the ring in Mary's room.
Seriously, you got it?
It'd fallen down the side of her dresser.
I knew it! I knew she'd gotten her facts all wrong.
She also said she's sorry.
Yeah, well, that's gonna be enough to clear the air. It's about time I started hearing some serious apologies.
I think you should go easier on her, Tony. She's really embarrassed and not exactly proud of what she said. Perhaps you should just let it slide this time.
But you heard what she said about me, right?
Come on, Tony. We're all gonna be clearing out of these apartments soon. Do you really want to cause any more trouble for yourself?
Yeah, maybe you're right. I think I'm man enough to take this one on the chin, forgive and forget and all. Thanks to you, I'm in the clear. I can't thank you enough for what you did. Can't imagine what would have gone this well if I'd asked anyone else. Guess all that detective training you've got really paid off.
Hold on a minute. Yeah, hey, hold on. How'd you find out about my past? How do you know I was a detective? Hey, Tony, how'd you find out? About me being a detective, I mean.
I heard it from Dylan.
Dylan? How the hell did he know?
I thought you must have told him or something.
Why can't I tell a guy like him about my past? I haven't even told anyone living in this building about that.
That's so. I just figured that any kind of info comes straight from you. I was pretty surprised when I heard you used to wear a badge. Figured you must have been through something rough to make you quit.
Meaning?
Hey, no need to give me that kind of look. I'm just thinking out loud. It looks like I crossed the line, huh? Oh wow, is it that time? I gotta be at an audition. I'll catch you later, man.
An audition?
Yeah, if I make it through, I'm gonna get me a live gig.
If that happens, drinks are on me. I'm from a family of people doing gigs and doing music work on the side. It's all so common. Tony makes his way along the hallway and heads down the stairs towards the lobby. I won't hold my breath for those drinks. There's something about what Tony said. What was it? How does Dylan know about my past? It's my pager. Better get back to my room. Alright, let's see what Rachel or Ed wants to know. Either one of the two. Oh, let's see. There it is. I suppose I should give Rachel a call.
This is Red Crown. How can I help you?
It's me. What's up?
Ed just got back. I'll pass you over.
How is it, Hyde? There's something we need to discuss. Yeah, well, it's a little late to start apologizing. I don't care how much you grovel. I'm not going back on my decision. It's not about me getting fired, Ed. Then what the hell is it about? It's about an order that made its way to me directly. What? There was an order sheet in my room when I got back yesterday. The message on it was vague. It goes like this. Find the Scarlet Star that disappeared in Hotel Cape West 25 years ago. You sure you got your facts straight? Orders shouldn't come directly to you at all. As far as the clients are concerned, they don't even know Kyle Hyde. You haven't even been spraying what we deal with behind the scenes, have you? What do you take me for, an idiot? Whatever, ignore that order sheet. In case you forgot, Red Crown ain't your concern anymore, so just drop it. You can take that piece of paper and burn it. But Ed, plus it sounds like a bogus order to me. Think about it, who's gonna be after something that went missing 25 years ago? Just drop it. Besides, you've got more important things to do, like finding a job. Ed. I'm hanging up. A bogus order? Even if it does turn out to be bogus, how'd it make its way to me? Speaking of strange, Tony heard I was a detective from Dylan of all people. Something's not quite right about this. I think it's about time Dylan and I got better acquainted. Alright, let's head on to the third floor and see what Dylan has to say about himself. He's got some explaining to do. Alright, yeah, just taking kind of a look around and doing more examinations. There's a light fixed to the wall. They must have got a bulk discount on these. This bench is a little faded from all the sunlight. Oh, that must be it. Not all areas have to have like a million things you can interact with, so. Huh? There's someone in the hallway. Well, it's Dylan, so. And I see vacant. Another. So we got a couple of people living up here. Or that have rooms up here. Where are we going? Yeah, another vacant room. I was just seeing if there's anything else to examine. Okay. Alright, hey. What's up, big man? You got a moment? Got some questions I'd like to ask you. Questions to ask me? Yeah. Let me bend your ear for a bit. Are you gonna tell me what it's about? Tony from 201 told me that you were blabbing about me about once being a detective. That's where I think I did mention it to him. But he came and asked me about it first. He asked you about me? Right. It must have been about 2 weeks back. I was called to this room to take care of a door that wouldn't close properly, and after I fixed it, he asked if I'd like to grab a drink. That's when he started asking about you. I remember asking if I knew anything about you. Interesting.
How'd my history become public knowledge? Care to tell me how you know I used to be a detective? It just cropped up one day. Cropped up? What's that supposed to mean? I saw your name in an old newspaper article. In an article? Right. It was an article about an undercover investigation in New York. When I read through, I noticed the name Kyle Hyde. I also noticed that you shot an undercover cop. Well, and that was on the take, not exactly through and through the blue. When was the newspaper dated? I think it's from around 4 years back. Wow. Surprised you ran across a newspaper that was 4 years old all of a sudden. Why did Tony want to know all about me? Oh, he was going on about how he'd like to become your friend, and just wanted to know if I knew anything about you. So naturally, when he asked, I told him what I knew. All I said to him was that you're an ex-detective who works as a salesman. Should have paid $300 to get myself purged from the newspapers, huh? No. Although I heard you can do that on the internet, sort of. Like, people will just go through and try to sponge as much as they can. Where'd you find this newspaper? Well, let me think. It was just a coincidence. I stumbled across the paper and noticed that article. Finding an old newspaper with stuff about me was a coincidence? Do you really expect me to buy that story? Honest, I was out on a job at the time. Out on a job? Yeah, I'm in the plumbing and repair business, so I often get sent out on jobs. Find myself in buildings and offices a lot. I even fix windows occasionally, too. Thinking back, when I saw that article, I had just moved back from New York, and I was doing a job in someone's bathroom. The people had just moved in, and there was stuff all over the place. Quite an old newspaper someone left lying around. I just had lunch, thought I'd give it a read. That's when I saw your name. How far back was this? I don't know, 3 months? So, are we done with all the questions? Yeah, for now. Huh? Who's there? Here we go.
You really should take your chat elsewhere. You're blocking the hallway.
Sorry.
Kindly get out of my way.
Great old man Frank. This miserable old guy is Frank Raver. He occupies room 302 and has a tendency to skulk around late at night.
If memory serves, you're
Kyle Hyde, the guy living in the apartment below you, who incidentally has to put up with the racket you make walking around all night.
I don't appreciate being accused of things, Mr. Hyde. This building may be old, but it's solid and unlikely to cause such disturbances.
I'm telling you, I can hear every one of your footsteps loud and clear. Sometimes I can't even get a wink of sleep while you're stamping around.
Looks like I misjudged you, Mr. Hyde. I had you pegged as the kind of guy who had more important things on his mind.
Meaning what? Mr. Raver? Mr. Hyde is just trying to say that he's noticed some noise coming from your room. He's not trying to start an argument with you. That's right, isn't it, Mr. Hyde? Yeah, I'm just saying.
Huh. Well, I suppose I could try to take a little more care late at night.
Gee, thanks. Bit of a cranky old timer we got here.
And while we're all here, I had a matter to bring to your attention, Dylan.
You did?
Yes, it seems that someone left trash by the fire door on the 4th floor again.
Not again. Who would be so careless?
That's a good question. But more importantly, we wouldn't want an incident like before now, would we? I recommend you get up there and clean up right away.
Will do.
Thank you, Dylan.
Frank goes back into his room and disappears from sight. Which reminds me, I never got around to checking out the 4th floor. You take care of the repair work on the 4th floor too? Certainly do. But I thought the whole floor was disused. That's why it's out of bounds. And all the rooms up there are remnants from when this place was a hotel. The fire door was sealed to prevent access, so having problems all the way up there just adds to the hassle. That's the last place we want things to go wrong. I'm gonna have to leave you, Mr. Hyde. I have to get up there and sort this out. Dylan heads up the staircase. What's up on the 4th floor? Now my curiosity's piqued. Well, let's see what that's all about. Why not, right? Not like we've got anything better to do. Looks like Dylan's already here. I mean, he said he was going to head right over there, so I don't know what you're talking about. So, what are you doing up here, Mr. Hyde?
I didn't think it was a crime to wander up here once in a while. Well, that's true. Frank said something about some trash? Yeah, or took care of it, though. It was just a flyer from an old newspaper. No great shakes. So if someone made their way up here just to dispose of something like that? You'd be surprised, but it does happen from time to time. It seems like that really get to me. Just another one of the many problems with the building anyone can get into. In my opinion, you're asking for trouble if people can just walk in off the streets. Yeah, you get vagabonds and squatters and stuff like that. Squatters right to my butt. Anyway, what kind of incident was Frank talking about? What kind of incident was Frank referring to? Sorry, I don't follow. Well, just now, outside room 302, Frank Raver said something about an incident. Said that something happened up here on the 4th floor. Oh, right, that. Care to share some details? It was nothing. Is that right? Yeah, nothing you need to worry about. Okay, I've got to make a move. Dylan makes his way to the stairs and descends out of sight. Now I know something's up. He seemed caught off guard when I asked. Got an idea. If the rooms up here have been left as they were when it was Hotel Cape West, I wouldn't mind having a better look around. Oh yeah, there's a little... You see some like fire damage or whatever on the... I can still make out the scorch marks on the wall from some sort of fire. Looks like Dylan took care of the trash someone left behind. Looks like there's some sort of control panel attached to the wall. The switches on the control panel are both on the on position. Interesting. I mean, it's a light panel, so it makes sense. So. It's an old wooden cabinet. Odd place for one, really. There's a taped up box on the 4th floor. It's probably just stuff that's been packed up from when the building shuts down. 3 cardboard boxes are stacked up on the cabinet. They're taped up, so I can't look inside. Shame too, I bet it would have been thrilling. So exciting. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to click on that one again. Okay. There's a door thing there. There's a toolbox fixed to the wall. There's a blackened set of pliers. That wrench looks pretty old. Must have seen a lot of use in a place like this. There's a wooden doorstop inside the toolbox. On the wall is a brand new fire extinguisher. Looks like it was put there very recently. There's a case on the wall with a glass cover. Inside the case is a fire bell and some kind of lever. The lever is currently in the on position. Sometimes I'll see a lever or a lever depending on my mood. I guess that's it for that. Oh, whoops, I didn't mean to. Hold on. Maybe I should check a little more. I didn't mean to actually walk out. That was an accident. I thought there's a... Oops. Man, I'm hitting all the buttons today. Okay, let's check the door now. Nope, no, knocking's getting me nowhere. Whoops, didn't mean to knock again. The 4th floor hallway is blocked by a hefty looking fire door. Let's see if this thing's locked or not. There we go. Damn! This can't be good. Now the alarm's ringing. I gotta turn off that fire alarm. Looks like there's some control panel up here. The switches on the control panel are set to on. I bet if I use those switches, I can stop that damn bell ringing. So we got another puzzle. We have to turn these off at the... Oh, come on. It flicked back. Yeah, you kind of have to do it at the same time. They keep flicking back. Maybe one at a time just isn't working.
Yeah, you have to do it at the same time. The problem with this is that I only have a setup for one mouse switch. So this one's one of the, this is a puzzle I might have to do off screen to get them to work, because the way that the, because the way this, the program I'm using works, it only lets me do this one at a time. I don't have a secondary mouse for these. So I'm going to have to, now how does this thing work? Well, I know how it works. You have to do it at the same time, but there is a way to do both at the same time. It's just, I have to, I want to check this thing just in case. The bell's loud enough to wake the dead. I've really got to figure out a way to stop this thing. So the other way is, you could smash the glass on that and turn it off. But, yeah, but see, it doesn't actually let you do that, though, so. Okay, so give me a second. I'm going to do some little bit of game trickery to get this to work, so I'll be back in just a second when I get this set up, so give me a moment. Okay, I did it. So what you have to do is you have to basically, if you're using the program I'm using, you have to pause the emulator and then the setup, and then you have to press the fast forward key multiple times until you get the 2 dots to flip it like that. So yeah, if you're playing the actual game, you don't actually have to do that. You just use 2 fingers, but because I'm using a different setup, I have to do some trickery to do that. So I actually had to re-look up. I knew how to do it, but I'd forgotten. Like, I had a brain moment, so I had to cut to look it up again. So finally it stopped. Not a moment too soon either. Huh? Someone's coming. Well, yeah, the fire alarm got knocked off, so everyone's going to be coming towards us, so. You again. Mr. Hyde, what have you done? Yeah, about that. I kind of made a judgment error and set off the alarm. A judgment error? More like you thought you'd open the door and start snooping around inside. Well, I am a detective, right? Yeah, you got me. This is bad, real bad. What? Miss Patrice? Told you this was bad. Dylan, care to explain what's going on here? For one, why was the alarm ringing just now? Let me explain. It's just what are you doing up here, Mr. Hyde? I was just, well, he's gonna explain. It's not what you think, Miss Patrice. Then kindly explain it to me. The alarm went off because I thought it'd be a good idea to conduct a test to see if the system was working properly. A test at this time of day? Yes. Isn't that what happened, Mr. Hyde? Yeah, okay. Yeah, no. Yeah, sure. We don't want her mad at us anyway, so yeah, that's exactly what happened. It's just like he said, a test at the network broadcasting system. Dylan asked me to give him a hand while he set it up. I see. Yeah, I asked him to help. I just figured that even though we're gonna be leaving soon, it would be a good idea to make sure the safety measures are still working. Good thinking, Dylan. I can't tell you how grateful I am for you for taking such good care of the building. Now, you'll excuse me. I wonder if she actually bought that or not. Mags walks away and goes downstairs. Thanks for covering for me there. Yeah, it's not a problem. Now you're off the hook. You might want to head back downstairs. Guess he's right. I think I'll take it easy in my room. 4 p.m. Wow, we really were busy today, huh? But 4 p.m., you know what that means. After I returned from the 4th floor, I decided to take a loaf off and relax on the sofa. Still can't shake the mystery surrounding that order sheet I got. 4 o'clock already? Just in time to catch that show about Hugh Speck on TV.
Today on 5 News, we take a look back at Hugh Speck's career, from LAPD officer to candidate for LA mayor. Hugh Speck comes straight from the ranks of LA's finest, where he had a long and distinguished career. While in the LAPD, he cracked many high-profile cases, and even stamped out incidents of police corruption. One of his more famous cases happened in the 1950s. A crime ring named Condor was responsible for multiple jewel thefts all over London. Speck was tireless in his efforts to bring Condor down. Then 13 years ago, Speck entered the world of politics. As a politician, he continued down his path of justice. One day he said that Speck was destined to lead the city. The election ahead will be very interesting indeed. This is Robert Harrison for 5 News, signing off. Hugh Speck. He was an officer in the LAPD during the incident involving my old man. It's true that back in the day he solved his fair share of cases, but in the one surrounding my dad, Officer Speck had a far lesser role to play. Yeah, he probably had nothing to do with it, alright? Okay, now I'm gonna keep myself occupied. Still plenty of time until dinner. Maybe I'll take a trip down to Lucky's Cafe and grab a coffee. There you go. Sounds like a plan. Yeah, I just have to go back down to the first floor, so... Yeah, some of these chapters might end up being longer or shorter than others, depending on how fast I go through examinations and stuff like that, so... Yeah, I recognize that guy over there. He's, looks like a fop. Yeah, well, I guess we could talk to him, why not? Well, hello there. Hi. I definitely know this guy. He's on the 3rd floor. You're Kyle Hyde from room 202, aren't you? Yeah. And you're... Charles. Charles? Yes, Charles. Is there something wrong with my name? Ah, no, I get it. You forgot again, did you? You got me, kid. But it's coming back to me. Your full name's Charles Genet, right? Exactement. Might be a good idea to make a note of it or something, though. There's only 9 people in this building. It shouldn't be too hard to remember the names. Yeah, you're right. Sorry, kid. Some people find it very rude if you forget the name you know. Trust me, I don't forget names on purpose. They just seem to slip through the cracks. I just don't go around presuming everyone remembers me either. Interesting attitude. Thank you, Mr. Hyde. That helps me understand the kind of person you are better. Glad to hear it. Try to make the effort to remember my name from now on, yes? When I forget a person's name, I feel terrible inside. I hear you loud and clear. Another NPC of the building? Mr. Charles. The kid's name is Charles Genet. He came over as an exchange student from France about a year ago. According to Betty, he has dreams of becoming a big-time movie director. Your buddies with Billy used to live in 205, right? Yes, that's right. I remember Betty telling me a while back. Betty's lovely, isn't she? It's a shame that we won't be living in the same building as her for much longer. We've all got to leave this place after all. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah, I heard the alarm bell ringing earlier. Did you know what happened? That was just a test. Nothing special. A test, I thought it might have been something a little more exciting. Here we go again, I thought. Okay, well, he's a director, right? He's French, so obviously he's already got a couple problems with him. No. Have you got a moment? What do you think happened? I thought it was happening all over again. What was? You know, like the panic about the fire from 2 weeks ago. I thought it was another fire. There was a fire 2 weeks ago? Didn't you hear about that, Mr. Hyde? I didn't hear a thing, but then again, I was away on a trip at the time. It happened around lunchtime on the weekday. Do you know where the fire broke out? Yes, it was up by the staircase on the 4th floor. Interesting. Yes. I heard that someone came into the building and started it. Luckily, someone spotted it and put it out right away. Maybe it was Dylan? So the building didn't suffer any lasting damage. Well, who put it out then? So who put out the fire? Mr. Raver? Frank Raver from 302? Yes, that's him. If Mr. Raver had noticed the fire, who knows what might have happened.
By the way, Mr. Hyde, what are you going to do after you leave this place? I haven't quite worked that out yet. Me neither. I haven't even started looking for a new apartment. I really like this place, despite it being a little old and run down. You and me both, kid. I'll see you later, Mr. Hyde.
Charles says goodbye and leaves. Okay. Let's continue back to the Lucky's Cafe. Oh, hey. That's some fine smelling food. Huh? It's Frank. You again. Bumping into you a lot lately, Mr. Hyde. Mr. Raver. Good timings. I have some things I'd like to ask you. What is it, an ambush? Charles told me that you came across a fire on the 4th floor 2 weeks back. I did, yes. What about it? Are you in the habit of wandering around in out-of-bounds areas? What can I say? I get bored easily. I don't have a job to go to anymore either. Plus, it's good for my health to climb up and down the stairs. I thought for a moment you had something interesting to ask me. Goodbye. Frank slips away towards the staircase. Okay, well, I'll ask him about that maybe later. Lucky's Cafe, best food and raw caffeine in town. It's worth the trip downstairs just for the aroma of freshly ground coffee. Is it Christmas time or? Oh yeah, it's December, right? Lucky's Cafe.
Hi, welcome to Lucky's Cafe. Oh, Mr. Hyde, nice to see you. Today's coffee is a straight Guatemalan mineral roast.
Sounds good. I'll take one of those, coarsely ground and black.
Gotcha. Can I get you something to go with that?
That's the million-dollar question.
Maybe I can tempt you with today's special dessert. We've only got one left. I made it myself, which makes it extra special.
Yeah, why not?
I'm sure you won't regret it.
We got Claire here. The perky waitress is Clara Regan, the daughter of the cafe owner. She's always cheery and keeps the customers coming back. Ah, she's a cute patootie.
Guess you'd be taking your regular spot, right?
Right. Ah. I have a habit of always sitting in the same seat when I come here. Well, we are creatures of habit. Sitting here enjoying a good coffee is one of the best things about this place.
Here you go. Today's coffee and one of my special desserts.
Looks like some small chocolates.
My own homemade plum truffles. I took a ripe dried plum, filled it with fruity chocolate ganache, then coated it with a slightly bitter type of chocolate for an edgy flavor. It all adds up to a deliciously sweet dessert. Hope you like it, Mr. Hyde.
Certainly looks tasty.
Bon appetit.
Claire drifts away from the table after delivering my order. There's an appetizing looking combination of coffee and dessert on the table. That's a fine aroma. The fragrant coffee takes me away from my troubles, if only for a while. Well, Mr. Hyde. Huh? Looks like I can't stay away from your coffee for too long, can I? Glad to hear it. Here's your fine today's blend. Let me see. Full flavored, slightly bitter, and with a fine aroma to boot. Isn't it spectacular? Got my hands on some top-notch beans. A little darker, but ground coarsely and dripped slowly, giving it a richer taste. I find it pays to add a little more than you think you need to. Well, it sure beats the instant crap. I'll take that as a compliment. Alright, this is Sydney, the owner of the cafe. This guy is Sidney Regan. He's Claire's father, and he owns this place. He can dig his heels in when he wants to, but he likes to talk and gets on well. Say, what do you think of the dessert? Be honest now. It was great. How great exactly? You know, just great. I thought you'd say something like that. For me, I find that adding some liquor really sets the taste apart from the rest. Liquor? Or liqueur? Adding just the right amount of boost to the impact of the ganache. Helps to balance the taste of the plums and cocoa, too.
If you try to dessert it put together, chances are you'd be pining for another. Why don't you just put some drugs in it then if you want to get them pining for... No, never mind. Actually, sugar's already addictive enough as it is. How come you don't tell Claire all this? Don't get me wrong, it isn't like I haven't tried. She's just not interested to take on recipes. She tells me to keep them to myself. She's in the habit of ignoring my good advice. Sometimes I think I can even see my ex-wife's personality poking through. Ouch. By the way, Mr. Hyde, do you know the customer sitting over there in the back? Which one? Him over there, the guy in the glasses. Guy in the glasses? Sunglasses? There's a shifty-looking guy sitting at the back wearing sunglasses. Who the hell is that guy? He's a friend of yours, Mr. Hyde? Never laid eyes on him before. Strange, he seems to know all about you. What? He came around asking questions and everything. I just figured he might be a friend of yours. Looks like I got it all wrong, though. Sydney finishes speaking and leaves the table side. Who is that guy and what does he know about, and how does he know about me? Well, I have a pretty good idea who this guy is. Well, I actually already know, but for those who don't know, well, let's take a look around before we do that. It's a Christmas tree decorated with veritable rainbow of ornaments. The sunlight glistening on the table's surface makes the color seem lighter than it is. The bench feels really hard, like you're sitting directly on the wood. That's what happens when you use the same seat for decades. There's a poster for a drink stuck on the wall. The poster has a picture of iced tea on it. I think I'll stick with Cool Pop. Is that soda in this world? Well, depending on where you live, pop can be either a specific type of drink or it could be a code word for soda or, you know, a caffeinated drink. A bottle of mustard and a bottle of ketchup. I can see there's plenty left in both. I was almost worried there for a second. Oh, whoops, didn't mean to click that. It's a bench covered in red leather. It seats 2 people. The leather looks like it's undergone some repair work. If you look closely, the window has a lot of tiny scratches. I'm so glad it looks closely. You're so sassy sometimes. An old-fashioned jukebox. Seems a little flashy for this place. Might as well put a record on, I guess. Mulling it over a distant memory, so... Yeah, this is the soundtrack, again. There's like 2 there's basically the main game soundtrack, and then the other one is the, listening to the old game soundtrack. Yeah, see. And when you unlock new soundtracks, it, from the game, then they'll pop up here. Whoops. Okay, I think that's it. Okay. Well, anyway, maybe I'll listen to the rest of those later, but... There's a glowing neon sign that reads Lucky's Cafe. The next neon text reads Lucky's Cafe. I'm so glad we checked that. The store leads to the cafe's billiards room. Billiards, huh? I think I'm a little rusty. I can play pool, but I'm not as good at billiards. Actually, I'm not really good at pool either. If you want to know the truth. Okay, so there's that one. This one. The table's showing its age, but it's been scrubbed to perfection. There isn't a single bit of trash anywhere near the seating area. This bench has crease in the leather, sure to be a vital clue. There are a variety of small frame photographs on the wall. One bottle is ketchup, the other's mustard. Together, they light up any meal. Not a fan of mustard myself. Through the window, I can see people walking outside. Why would I be looking underneath this thing? I wondered. Anyway. I can see the street in front of the apartment building. Okay. Hey. Got a moment? That depends. Firstly, who the hell are you? Sydney said you know who I am. I've never even met you before. Time to start talking, pal. Is that right? Yeah, why don't we begin with your name? The name's Forster, Rex Forster. We've heard this guy before, so So he calls himself Rex Foster. This must be the guy I called Mama Rachel. Finally got a face to put to the name I keep hearing. You've been busy making a lot of calls, it would seem. What are you after? I don't seem to remember asking for a guy like you to follow me around. Yeah, okay, you got me. Hey. Yeah, you got a let's see, it doesn't really matter, so something you want to say? Got something you want to say? Kyle. You're really trying to pretend you're a salesman, aren't you? The way you speak is a dead giveaway, though. There's no hiding you're a detective. What'd you just say? Whoops, there I go again. Well, you used to be a pretty good detective back when you were a cop in New York. Seems you had a pretty high opinion of yourself, too, but it seems that part might have been a little exaggerated. Didn't have you pegged as someone who would want to conceal their past as a detective. Guess I was wrong. I don't see that my opinion of myself has got anything to do with you. But let's get back on track. What exactly do you want from me? About time you asked. I was hoping to ask you some questions is all. Questions? Yeah, to begin with, why you choose to live in this particular building? No reason, just kind of wound up here. Pull the other one, that's not the reason. You set up here because of the place once being Hotel Cape West. I've got no clue what he's talking about. Made you think, did I? Let's try another question, shall we? Watch your attitude, buddy. You're trying all the fact there was some trouble today on the second floor, too. What's he talking about? How do you know I was a detective? How do you know I was a detective? Now that would be telling. Don't play the innocent with me. You better start talking real quick. Let's just say a little bit of research went a long way. So you're researching me now, are you? Care to elaborate on that? Who the hell are you? Yeah, easy. You're not the only person I'm looking into. Is that supposed to make me feel better? I can't really tell you anything right now. Speaking to you could be quite dangerous, Kyle. Cut the crap and define dangerous. If you know too much, you might feel inclined to get in my way. And why would I want to get in your way? I don't even know you. I never said you do it on purpose, but guys like you just tend to get in the way. You're making less and less sense as you go along. You may have left the force to seek out a life without too much excitement, but guys like you just get a whiff of a case and switch right back to their old ways. And that's precisely why I can't afford to have you get in my way. Guys like me. You want to explain that to me? Oh, I'm sure you understand just fine. Trouble, what are you talking about? Trouble, what are you talking about? So you're saying nothing happened, are you? Well, Okay, we'll say something. Well, there was something, and that something was someone thought they'd been robbed. Really, you don't say. Turns out the person that started all the trouble was mistaken, though. Not that that has got to squat to do with you. Fair enough. I'll just want to ask. Who's this guy think he is? That's me done. I'm leaving. Hey, hold it. Not so fast. Take it easy, Kyle. There's plenty of time for us to sit down and chat, you know. Rex says his piece and leaves. Who's this guy think he is? Mr. Hyde? Huh? So, who was that guy? Name's Rex Foster. Seems like he's been gathering information about it. Why would he do that? Are you in some sort of trouble? Not that I know of. He was a detective, was he? Trust me, he was no detective. More likely he's working for some lousy agency or a third-rate newspaper. Yeah, I guess you're right. He seems like a weirdo right from the moment I laid eyes on him. He did seem a little bit strange. Sometimes he'd have his notebook open on the table. Seems like when he thought of something, he'd write it down. Notebook? It's the death note! No. Yes, then he'd read his notes back to himself. Oh, okay, it's not a death note. Bugs me every time I see him. Let's ask other questions. What made you think he was weird? Well, for one, he's been coming here all the time. Started 2 or 3 days ago. Spending long hours with just a single cup of coffee, staring at my customers. And also, there's more. He goes around asking all kinds of questions. Such as, about stuff from the past, mostly. Interesting. Yeah, what kind of notes? What kind of notes has he been making? When I took his coffee over once, I nearly caught a glimpse of his notes. But he noticed right away and snapped his notebook shut.
Doesn't want anyone to know his secrets, huh? Stuff from the past, like what? He tends to be fixated on this building's past when it used to be a hotel. That's quite a while back. It is. He also asked about something that happened 13 years ago. Hello, hello? He never revealed his motives about why he's so interested in that particular event. Wait, 13 years, huh? What happened in the hotel 13 years ago? That's a tough question, and I appreciate it if you kept this to yourself. Miss Patrice asked me to avoid talking about it. She seems especially keen to keep it from the people living in the apartments. What happened? I think I can trust you not to spread around, Mr. Hyde. If the truth be known, when this building was still a hotel, there was a murder here. Yep, it always has to do with murder. On top of that, the case was never solved. An unsolved murder? What do you know about the incident? I don't think I'd better go into any more detail, Mr. Hyde. Come on, you told me this much. The thing is, someone involved in the incident is rather close to me. There are also those who are keen to forget about the incident once and for all. Please understand, I'm just not happy to continue discussing it. Ah, one more thing. Alright, Columbo. What is it? That Rex Foster guy seems to be after information concerning that murder. He could be a reporter. The more I think about it, the more it fits. A shady character like him could make a perfect reporter for one of those gossip mags. I bet money that's where he's from. Could be. Changing the subject, Mr. Hyde. If you decide who's going to get your vote, I haven't quite made my mind up. By the time I'm recording this is before a major vote in my country, but by the time I publish it, it'll be after the fact. So, we'll see who wins, I guess. The media seems to be focused on Hugh Speck, the ex-congressman. I personally don't like the idea of him winning, though. Really, why is that? I just find that guys like him with police backgrounds and such can be a bit suspicious. I've got a friend who swears the guy was on the tape during his days on the force. He said he was also into racketeering, among other things. We're talking about Hugh Speck, right? Never heard those rumors. Well, it's politics, right? Everyone's at least a little bit corrupt. It won't be easy for whoever becomes mayor. Lowering the crime rate will be tough. Ain't that the truth? Los Angeles? It still hasn't been fixed. Say, did you hear about the robbery at the jewelers near here yesterday? Yeah, we read that on the newspaper. Sydney puts the newspaper down on the table. This kind of crime gives people like me the jitters. It reminds me of a very similar incident a while back.
Dad?
Yeah?
We got oars queued up over here. Can you come back to the camera for a while?
Sure thing, I'll be right over. Duty calls, Mr. Hyde. I'll catch up with you another time.
Do you mind if I take a look at that newspaper?
Not a problem. Take your time.
Cues, there's no one else in this cafe. Sydney makes his way back behind the counter.
Okay, well, we'll check the newspaper in a second. Can we leave? What's wrong with me today? I almost left by mistake. Yeah, anyway. The picture on the wall is a photograph from when this building was a hotel. The photo is black and white. It says it was taken in 1956. So this is what Cape West looked like when it was a hotel. If it was a hotel, this place must have been pretty huge, and yet turning into apartment buildings soon. There's a landscape building on the wall depicted on a row of stores on a city street. Through the window, I can see a train that's stopped in its tracks. Is it a train station? Hang on, I'm not gonna go in the kitchen or anything like that, because I don't need to do that right now, so. A coffee maker and a juicer, the tools of the trade. I guess this is the coffee maker Sydney was talking about. The cash register looks like an old model, not that I'm an expert or anything. The shelf holds several stacks of plates. Some notes are stuck around it too. Those are for orders. Some beer bottles lined up on the shelf. There's a blackboard above the shelves with a menu written on it. The cafe is famous for its cheap prices and tons of options. A pair of small lights are hanging from the ceiling. There are some piles of plates and a few whiskey bottles on top of the cupboards. Some cupboards and drawers line the wall. What's inside them, I may never know. There's a printed menu on the counter. There's condiments on the counter, but no mayonnaise. Oh, I can't have it all. All the dishes have been scrubbed clean and stacked up in the shelves. The counter is so clean I can see my face in it. I shouldn't have looked. Yeah, I think I've already clicked on everything, so. Yeah, I guess so. Okay, just double checking. Okay. And you can't talk to. Oh, never mind. I guess you could. For some reason, I thought you couldn't talk to me. What's it gonna be? You want something to drink? No, I'm good. Okay. But anyway, just generic dialogue. Okay. A red bench with leather upholstery. There's room for two. A red two-seater bench with leather upholstery. The color's looking a little faded. This might have been here since the days when this place was a hotel. The dining table is a melamine surface with a whole lot of scratches. Ketchup, mustard, two of my favorite condiments. There's a couple of landscape paintings on the wall depicting lush forests. There's a poster with a cow on it stuck to the wall. Lucky's Calf Beef Stew, only $7. It's a poster advertising the cafe's beef stew. I've never eaten it, but it sounds damn fine. It's been a while since I've eaten beef stew, I'll admit. I don't eat out as like I used to either, because it's just too expensive. The window's spotless. I can see exactly how little is going on outside. Sydney's newspaper is on the table. It reads, December 19th, 1980, new development in serial jewel robbery cases. With regards to the succession of jewel burglaries that have taken place recently, the Los Angeles Police Department announced a new lead. The culprit could be a jewelry theft ring called the Condor, based on the information that a woman with a black hat had been witnessed at the crime scene before the incident. This group once frightened the whole nation, and there are fears that the reign of terror is beginning once more. Wait, didn't we see this lady? Huh, the woman in this article. Sounds just like the woman I saw outside the building yesterday. Things have been more hectic than usual since yesterday. Guess there's only one thing for it. If I think back over the events, maybe I can clear up a few things. Alright, yeah, time for another chapter review. Have you been paying attention, viewers? December 19th, 1980. My alarm clock woke me up as usual, but after I got myself back to sleep, the phone rang and got me up again. The one who woke me up with a ridiculously early phone call was Jeannie, our mom. Right. It was Mom who decided it would be a good time to call then. She's currently living in New Jersey by herself. After I finished speaking with Mom, Rachel called. Both she and Mom had some very similar stuff to tell me. They both said, yeah, they've been called by Rex. Rex Viper! No, Rex Foster. That's right. Both Rachel and Mom said that they received phone calls from the same caller. They said his name was Rex Foster, and they were keen to finding out whether he was an acquaintance of mine or not. After catching the TV show and about the candidate whose speech Ed went to hear, Tony got me caught up in some crazy situation, just like always. Who was the second floor occupant that swore Tony stole her ring? Mary? Right. It was Mary from room 206. She had somehow gotten into her head that Tony was a master jewel thief. I was coerced into taking a look around Mary's room to prove Tony's innocence. Turns out that the ring had just fallen between some furniture. After I proved Tony's innocence, he expressed his gratitude. After we talked, he mentioned that he knew I used to be a detective. Tony got that info from Dylan! Dylan! Sorry, can't really do a Schwarzenegger voice. That's right. After squeezing him for facts, he finally told me that it came from Dylan. Dylan's the quiet guy who lives in 304. Takes care of the general repairs around here. Found my name in an article from a 4-year-old newspaper. Funny how coincidences like these seem to happen around me. As the day went on, I had the urge to go to Lucky's cafe downstairs. Figured I'd head down there, grab a coffee, and take a breather. Imagine my surprise at finding none other than Rex Foster there. The cafe owner told me Rex had been asking questions he was asking about an incident 13 years ago. Right. The owner told me that Rex had asked about what happened 13 years ago, when the apartments were still a hotel. He turns out to be the guy who'd been calling around about me. Now I find out after facts surrounding that happened in the past year. Well, luckily for me, he chose not to let me in on his secret and left. December 19th, 1980. Despite the apartments being due to close, I spent the entire day embroiled in conversations with the other residents. Turned out to be pretty useful for gathering facts on past and present events here, especially the unsolved murder that happened 13 years ago. The sudden appearance of Rex Foster in the cafe today made me feel uneasy. It sent my mind spinning back to the mysterious order sheet I found in my room. I think I'm just beginning to register the fact that there's something more to this building than meets the eye. Transformers? No. There's some sort of secret to be found here, I'm sure of it. All right, now we've finished chapter 2 of
of Last Window. So now that we've gotten those strange orders, we've been helping people around, talking to people, but now that a lot of things are starting to come up that seem interesting. 13-year-old cases, robbed jewels, fourth floor fire incidents, and all such like that. What awaits us in day 3? We'll find out next time in the next episode of Last Window: The Secret of Cape West. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.